Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. As always, it's so awesome to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I thought I would take a break today in recording bass for my new song and ask you all a question. Have you ever wondered what steps are involved in taking a song idea to the radio? If so, then this is the video for you. You do not need to be a musician or know anything about music or gear or any of that stuff in order to get this basic overview of what's involved in creating music. One caveat here, if you listen to pop radio today, the top 40, the majority of the music is created by computer. And, you know, surprise, surprise, it's just in the age that we are in. I, however, am old school and love playing instruments and recording those, so I am going to kind of come at it from that vantage point. That said, though, even though those two approaches are different, one is generated, one is performed, they both kind of follow the same blueprint. All right, and I am going to break this down into 4 steps. So the first step to music production is writing the song. Yeah, it seems like a no-brainer, but it is definitely helpful to go into a studio with a song that has been written from start to finish. You know, music studios, commercial studios are extremely expensive, and so it definitely can save a lot of time and money to do the ideal and have a song completely ready to go. However, though, with the proliferation of home studios now, and especially being competitive with radio and whatnot, I can come to my studio with the majority of a song, which is the case with this current tune that I am working on. I wrote it on guitar, I wrote the verses, and I wrote the choruses. And that's the majority of a song. So I decided to take a little bit of a leap of faith and begin the project. Writing and recording is a lot like sitting down to a puzzle. It's all about finding the right puzzle piece and putting it into the right spot. Sometimes the magic happens and sometimes not. For example, I mentioned those 2 parts that I had. Well, I did a scratch track and listened to both parts together. And I really enjoyed the mood of the verses, loved the mood. But the chorus was sounding a bit flat in comparison to it. So I decided to write a new chorus. And thankfully, I wrote one that I was able to enjoy and to move forward with the process. Which brings us to step number 2. Once the song is arranged and all laid out, good to go, then now it's a matter of recording all of the instruments. Back in the day, bands would gather in one main room. The engineer would mic everything, drums, amps, vocals, whatnot, and they would record songs from start to finish. And that takes a certain caliber of musician and in the bands to be able to do that without making any mistakes. It's still kind of mind-boggling to think that that was the norm back in the day. In today's world, there are some bands and musicians who still prefer to do that because it keeps a human element. I, however, don't have a band, so I have to rely on technology to help me piece songs together. So for example, currently I have all of my rhythm guitar parts recorded. I am making good progress, almost done with recording the bass. And then I'll probably go back and record some lead guitar or some guitar colors, maybe add some keyboards. Haven't quite decided for this song or not. And then I will finish it by recording drums on top of everything. I have also done it the exact opposite method, which is arguably better to record drums first, then the bass, then the guitars, and then keys, vocals, or what have you. And then that brings us to the third step, which is mixing. All right, so once everything has been recorded, I put the instruments aside, they've done their job, and then I head to the computer here and begin the process of mixing. And mixing is kind of like what it sounds. Some of the things that are involved in mixing would be to take each instrument that I've recorded and adjust the volume for each of them to where they sit nicely, they play nicely together. I will also add effects or fix noises that inevitably pop up with live recordings, and just generally try to make each instrument and vocals sound the best they possibly can sound in the recording. The goal of mixing is to bring a song to life through things like clarity and dynamics, and making it sound like a cohesive unit. And then that brings us to step number 4, which is mastering. So let's say I have mixed a song. It's all done. I'm going to call it the final mix. I've been trying to figure out a way of describing mastering to a non-musician. So try this on for size. If I were to send you my final mix of this new song without it being mastered, if you were to compare it to other songs on the radio, you would immediately be reaching for your volume knob to turn it up. It would sound so much quieter than radio songs. So one of the ways to think about mastering is that you're taking a final mix of a tune and you are making it radio ready. Now, there is a lot more involved than just increasing the overall volume. There are mastering engineers out there. It is a very intricate process. And I think one of the ways I kind of like to describe it is that it is the last step of polish on a final mix. A sprinkling of fairy dust on the song to help it to shine as great and as brightly as it can shine. All right, that's it. Song idea to radio involves writing the song, recording the song, mixing the song, and mastering the song. I am going to now get back to this song and recording bass because I do want to release it very soon. Thanks again for being here today. As always, I hope you are doing well. And until next time, light and love to you all. Take care now. Bye-bye.